Hey, I'm back. It's been a while since I made a video. I've been busy. But I have a funny story for you. Baseball's coming back, right? We know that. Shortened season. I don't know how it's going to turn out, but kind of hoping the Sox will put together somewhat of a good team. But fans aren't going to be allowed in the stands, that's for sure. But last year I had the bright idea I would take two of my sons and my wife to a Red Sox game. And yeah, normally you need to take out a second mortgage to attend a Red Sox game because it's so damn expensive. But the Dodgers were coming to town, and my son Garrett is a big LA Dodgers fan. I don't understand where he gets it from. Sometimes I just want to smack him. And then my other son Adam is a Red Sox fan. So I said, well, this is a good opportunity for Toddy to get Dad of the Year award and take his sons to a game. To make it even more special, I bought train tickets for us to go down on the freaking train so we wouldn't have to drive. Yeah, how awesome is that? Get to drink on the way down on the train, relax. The boys are on their phone watching movie, Netflix, whatever, but it was good. But I didn't buy any tickets. I'm going to tell you why. This is where this story takes a turn. I'm a cheap mother. I am cheap. I am so cheap I squeak. So I'm always looking for the best deal. And when you look online for that particular game, everything was sold out. So I think bleacher seats were going for $1.25 in the bleachers. And I just couldn't buy bleacher seats for $1.25. So I talked to some people and did some research, and you know, there's always scalpers walking around, right, that you can buy from, but who can trust those friggin' greasy mofos? Holy cow. But I talked to some friends, and down outside Fenway Park is a place called the Scalp Free Zone, where season ticket holders unload their tickets for people at face value. I said, all right, that sounds like a winning deal to me. Maybe we can get some good box seats somewhere for cheap. So we get down there in plenty of time on the train, a couple hours before the game started, and there was a sign that said the Scalp Free Zone doesn't open until an hour before game time. I'm like, oh, crap. So let's go get something to eat. So we went and got something to eat, had a couple beers, you know, and walk around. And the boys were super excited because they wanted to get in to see batting practice. And, you know, Garrett wanted to see if he can get an autograph from one of the Dodger players, you know. So we were pretty excited. We come back after eating, and the line is down around the freaking corner. And I was like, son of a gun, how did that get so big all of a sudden? So we go stand in line. We're standing there. The line is not freaking moving. I'm getting frustrated. I know that's hard to believe, but I was frustrated. So I went up to a scalper. I said, hey, what do you got for tickets? He says, I got bleacher tickets for $90 a piece. And I was like, you got anything else better than that? Box seats or anything? No, not for 4 tickets. Sorry. It's a pretty popular game. And I'm like, never mind. So I go stand back in line, and we're standing there. And I talk to the guy behind me. I go, is the line always this long for this? He goes, well, yeah. And I was like, wow, the Scalp Free Zone is pretty popular. He goes, this ain't the Scalp Free Zone line. This is will call. We stood in that line for 45 freaking minutes for nothing. Then I go over, and I guess the scalp free zone is this little fenced in area. It's like a box fenced in area, and you have to give the guy your name and how many tickets you're looking for. And he said, you got to stand here and wait for the season ticket holders to, to come out. So we went and stood in a little freaking box, and it was hot, and the boys were getting frustrated. They just wanted to go into the game. Dad promised them a game, not standing in line. So we stood there waiting. Another half hour goes by. That's when the guy at the scalp free zone goes, well, you'll be lucky to get 4 tickets for this game. Thanks. You couldn't have told me that when I signed up a half hour ago. Oh, I find the scalper that was walking around. I go over and I said, hey, you still got those bleacher seats for $90? He goes, nope, sold them. He says, I got some other bleacher seats, maybe way at the top, but those are 125 or something like that. I'm like, oh my God, never mind. Go back to the scalp free zone, waiting there. The little freaking guy with the clipboard. I'm telling you, I don't think you're gonna be able to get tickets. Yeah, thanks, chum. Thanks, got it. I already lost Dad of the Year about an hour ago. So now I go back online looking at the tickets that I originally were looking at, and I find these seats. It was on vividseats.com or something, one of those cracker websites that bends you over and really up the tailpipe with all the extra fees and stuff. I find tickets to the right of the bleachers, box seats, the right of the bleachers. After all the fees and everything that they add, it came out to $135 a piece. More expensive than those freaking bleacher seats, and more expensive than the scalper seats, and more expensive than the non-existent scalp free zone seats that we were waiting for. I'm like, frig it. So I type in my credit card and order the tickets. It says, you will receive an email with instructions. Okay, good. I figured I'd be receiving an email with the actual ticket with the barcode that you just show the guy and you go in, and we could just, the boys just want to get in that stinking game. So I checked my email. It took forever for my email to come up because I didn't have any reception outside of Fenway. The email says, you must log into vividseats.com and verify your email address so that you can download the tickets. Are my eyes bugging out? Let me tell you, they were bugging out on that day because I was like, son of a gun. So I log into vividseats.com to verify my email so I can get my barcode. And I couldn't log into the app. And you know why? Because there was no reception. I said, boys, you stay here with your mother in line. I'm going to go next to one of these 150,000 restaurants and see if I can use their Wi-Fi. So I go to the first restaurant, Cask and Flagon, that's what it was. Couldn't get in. Then I go over to some other freaking restaurant and finally got into their Wi-Fi, and finally the Vivid Seats is opening up and I'm verifying everything. And I start to download the barcode, and then all of a sudden I lose the Wi-Fi, and then all of a sudden it stops downloading. So I'm like halfway downloading. I look over at my boys, and I swear if they could have killed me, they would have, because they were so frustrated. They're seeing people going by them, all excited. Oh, going to the game, man. And there's this dad trying to use Wi-Fi. So finally I downloaded those stupid tickets. I come over, all right guys, let's go. We hustle in, we go in and we look down by the dugout where the Dodgers were dug out, and we walked right down to the fence. just as they were getting done batting practice and walking in the dugout. They had already signed their autographs. They'd already said hi to all their fans. And then they were going in the dugout. There were a couple seats there. I said, let's just sit down. We're close to the field. Maybe one of the players will come back out. So we sat down. And we sat down and we watched and we watched. And we watched that sportscaster from ESPN, the guy that wears this stupid little nerdy bow tie. I forget his name. Ken Rosenthal or something like that. We watched him walk around. We watched people make fun of him. Just waiting for some kind of Dodger player to come out. Finally, Cody, I don't even know his name, Bellinger or something like that, comes out. And boy, oh boy, Garrett got awful excited. Couldn't get his autograph. Sorry, kids, already signed all my autographs. And away you went, son of a bitch. So we're sitting there, and my boys look over and they say, Dad, do you think we can sit here the whole game? What if these people don't show up? And I'm like, well, these are right behind the Dodgers dugout. I'm sure they're going to show up. People don't buy those tickets and not show up. But we'll stay as long as we can. 10 minutes before first pitch, of course, the people show up and they boot our asses out of there. So we're walking around the stadium, trying to find our seats. We finally get up to where my seats are, and we sit down. Bam! Big freaking pole right in front of us. So Toddy went out and bought, for $135, restricted viewing seats behind a big freaking pole. And if somebody tells you there's no restrictive seats in Fenway Park, they are lying to you, because I saw a big freaking pole. So we spent the first 3 or 4 innings seat jumping to different areas of the park, sitting in other people's seats, hoping they wouldn't show up. All because I was too cheap to just buy the bleacher tickets right off the bat. So finally we found some seats, and we had to turn our necks to be able to see. It was down by Pesky Pole. It was hard to see. And then on top of that, the Dodgers kicked our ass. It was like 11-3 or something. They must have hit like 5 bombs. Garrett was happy, but it was like, oh my God. On top of $135, I don't know how much money we spent on popcorn and peanuts and freaking beers, lemonades, cotton candy, all that bull crap that they get you on once you get in there. My good Lord. I will tell you that my boys handled it very well. They didn't act like spoiled like little brats. They seemed happy and they thanked us for going. But the whole thing just did not go according to Toddy's plan. I wanted to be Dad of the Year, and instead I'm Chump of the Year because I was cheap. And it's just typical stuff that happens to me. I get in the wrong lines. I can't get the Wi-Fi working. It's like anything wrong that's going to happen is going to happen to me. No matter where I go, I'm draped in misery and bad luck. If I didn't have bad luck, I'd have no luck. You ever heard of that phrase? You look up bad luck in the dictionary and there's Toddy's face. Wow. Oh well. Train ride home was good. We slept. It was late. But that's the way to go. Don't drive into Fenway and deal with all that parking bull crap and the traffic. Take the train. Take the train in, then get an Uber. An Uber. Right to Fenway. Beautiful. You're golden. So, lesson learned. Don't go to Fenway Park without pre-bought tickets. You take a chance. You take a chance. Maybe other people have it work out. Maybe they do well with the scalpers or whatever. But for me, I'm just going to make sure I buy them ahead of time. Anyhow, peace.